Hey guys, it's Kate, your plastic-free mermaid, and I'm here with Victor Bonito.
Yes, we're here in the beautiful Fiji Islands along the coral coast, and today talking a little bit about coral reefs and coral. Sort of unprecedented levels coming from us digging up that carbon in the form of coal and oil and burning it and putting it up into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We end up with temperature zone. If it becomes too hot for them, they can't take it, and the relationship between the corals and the algae breakdown. Well, what happens during a bleaching event is there's a breakdown in the relationship between the corals and the algae leave the corals. The corals are still alive at this point, and they can survive for a certain amount of time, depends on the species, without the algae. But because the algae make most of the food for the coral, if it's too long without it, then they will die. Coral bleaching has really been a problem, mainly associated around the El Nino events.
Yeah.
You know, Fiji had its first coral bleaching back in 2000, another small event in 2002. And subsequently, with the last two El Ninos, we had one, 2014, 15, 16, we had bleaching events. 2008, 9, mainly 9, a little bit in 8 and 10.
Wow.
So they're becoming more frequent and more intense as well.
Yeah.
In this last bleaching event in 2016 here on the Coral Coast, we lost about 30 to 60% of the coral that we had on the reef area, shallow reef area. We've been taking advantage of this to try to find a positive side to it, and now we're trying to take more active measures to try to make our reef more resilient to thermal stress. And so what we've been doing is during the bleaching events going out and identifying corals that are showing tolerance to the hot water. It's not that all of the corals bleached, most of them bleached, but we had about 5% of them, of a lot of different kinds of species, that didn't bleach. Just sort of like some people can jump higher and some people can run faster. And, some people have a little darker skin, a little lighter skin. Corals are the same. They're different. You know, the genetics are slightly different, even though a species may be the same.
And are these the ones that we're calling supercorals?
These are the ones that are being called supercorals. Those which show resilience against bleaching, as well as seem not to be impacted by disease and other things that happen during bleaching events when corals get stressed. So we've gone out and tagged supercorals during the bleaching events, and then later are using these corals
when they're no longer as stressed.
When the water cools off and the environment is not so stressed, we've been fragmenting and breaking these corals up into small pieces and putting them into our farms. And we've been basically cultivating them and then growing them out in these
guided evolution of these supercorals to help these strong guys be in one place and reproduce and grow. And
we call it assisted evolution.
Right.
Just giving Mother Nature a helping hand, taking corals that are very far spread apart from the reef from each other and putting them in closer proximity. So when they spawn and they reproduce and release their eggs and sperm into the water, they're in closer proximity and have a better chance of reproducing with each other.
That's beautiful.